Okay, we returned after a little break here, and I had last we had showed it all polished up. I thought that I was going to put tubes on it, and I tried a set of tubes, and all my tubes were broke. I had a bunch of daisy tubes, so I had a single tie, a single layer Tex Lux latex that actually it came on a new slingshot that I'd got, and I wanted something a little stronger. So anyway, I tried it out, and it's going to tie up good. I used come through here and I folded it so when it comes over it lays pretty good flat against. And you can't see, but I started using synthetic sinew. Get it at a craft store. The Indians, they tied up everything with real sinew. It's the little ligament stuff. When I'm making jerky, or you make jerky and use all your roast meat, you don't clean the gristly. That's what you'd call the gristly part out of it, but it'll run up the back, and you can strip it out right up the back strap. You can get it out or right along the back. But anyway, I use this sinew, and it ties. It's kind of waxed, and I'll make one loop tight, and then do another thing. It's like a granny knot, I guess. I don't know if there's a special knot, but it's a double tied knot right here, and they seem to do pretty well. I haven't put a handle on it. I'm still working on a handle. I've got a couple of pieces that I've thought about, and I am going to try, let's see here, to make this work some way. It's a piece of antler. Don't know how it's going to come out, but I wanted to put some bands on here and shoot this thing. I got my glove on, and I'm going to go, no idea, I'm just going to shoot into that comfort over there, 10 plate. I got 12 millimeter lead. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if we can hit the same spot again. Right down there in that little V. Of course, I am real close. That wasn't the same spot again, but once I felt just a little bit of hand slap on my hand, but I am without a handle on it, and they flip right around pretty well. They hold here. That's all real smooth. Let's and I didn't really have full draw. I don't think that. Yeah, I should be able to hold it, but I'm not going to chance getting my hand in the way. You could hold it like this pretty snug in grip, but I don't want my finger caught through there. But I'm going to actually, put a handle on it. But so it sounds pretty good. We'll work on a handle here and see what we can come up with. I'm going to turn the camera off for just a minute and set up a couple things, and we'll see if we can make a handle out of that antler. Okay, I had to turn the lights off, or had to shut the door, which cut my lights down a little bit. I'll move my saw around here, but I think this light's a wells of planning. The first thing that I want to do is try to get the orientation of where we want the handle, and where I want this little stop. And I'm thinking, because my hand feels real good up against this side, like right here, and I'm hoping that when I get this fitted, that's the way it'll be. I think it'll look real cool if I can get it to fit in there. The only problem I have, hate to mess a piece of antler up, but I think that it'll work, is it's going to take a little work. I'm going to have to cut, I'm going to mark that width of the forks there and cut that off the side, but as you see how it's tapered, it's wider at the bottom than it is up here, so I'm going to have to taper this piece and then put a hole through, and that's what I'm not sure how I'm going to lock it down. That's an awful big hole to use. It's an awful big hole to use. So I'm going to have to come up with a bolt that'll be probably a stainless bolt of some sort. That's the part that's not gonna, I've not got figured out yet. It may take me a little while because I can sandwich that piece. I thought about boring that out and putting it down in, but I'd soon leave this so we see the whole thing, and I just might have to use washer, and I just don't know right sure. But what I want to do is get it on here and get something on here so I can shoot this thing at the target. Okay? So I'm going to walk back over here, and well, actually what I'm going to be doing, I won't be able to do it on film, is I'm going to be marking on the top where this needs cut, and then I'll cut it on my old bandsaw. That bandsaw is the bandsaw that it's a Black & Decker. I thought it was a Craftsman, but it's a Black & Decker. It's as old as the same, I got it from my brother-in-law's father. Had passed on, and he had it for quite a long time. Okay, I'm going to cut the camera off now. Actually, you might not even see him because I bumped it. Okay, run into a little issue. Well, it's a kind of a big issue. I really would. That would look cool. That would look really cool. It'd be a nice looking sling, and of course but to leave this, but as far as this comes down, it'll be in the way of that peg. I'm either going to cut that off. It would be easier if I had a piece of wood, but it needs to be fairly, although the pressure is going to be against the pivot, the two pivots. I don't plan on using big heavy bands on this one. I may make this a target thing anyway, so I'm not real concerned. But I thought about cutting this one. This one's got a pretty good fit to it, but it's narrow up here. I believe that this one here is going to be the one. I'm just going to have to cut this off. It'll just make, I'm going to try to save much of that gnarl because that's got a good grip to it. It really does feel good. It's just about the right size. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little fitting and cutting, and well, I'm gonna cut this off. And let's see, to start with, what we got. I want to try to embed this in without cutting straight down, because here's my line. Here's where I'm gonna cut, but I've got to cut it to fit at the bottom, and then file it, progressive file it down to it's up there. That's the only other concern too. As thin as what it's going to be, I want to try to keep it as thin, but it's only going to be a 1/4 inch wide up there, so it may end up being weak and not work. I'll not put heavier bands that I've got real heavy on it. Like I said, real nice piece of wood, or even some steel. I thought about taking a couple pieces of stainless steel, but when you put it through that way, then you've got I can either sink this in something and cover this up, or try to use, I like to leave it visible if I could, so that's what I'm going to try. So I got to do a few things, and then I will come back. Okay, here's a little closer on the fit. I still got some fit, and obviously the thing's still not, I want it tight. But I got to get the radius. I got to file some of this off here, so it will fit in. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do, but that's where we're at so far. I think it's going to be pretty cool. See you later. Okay, we've done a little bit more fitting. I've had to take a little Dremel tool and a carbide bit and go down into the hand a little bit, because we want it to go like this, and so that'll fit down in there. I've got it tight. Like I said, it'll go down in there about 3/8 of an inch, and I'm not sure on the outside yet, but it's coming along. It's coming along. I gotta do some grinding, smoothing up in places. See you later.